This is John at Algo Futures Trader, and in this week's video I just wanted to take a look at first a couple of different market types. One that we saw Thursday compared to what we saw on Friday, and this is Thursday's opening breakout here, and this is the MNQ, so we'll just look at the MNQ here. But you can see we started breaking out of the no trade zone right after the open here. The trend light filter was in agreement, complete agreement. Some signals got fired off here, and you can see that would have been a nice trade at the open, where price just continued to move higher until it began to pull back, and you would have taken your stop on your last contract there. So you would have got, if you're trading the 3 lot, 2 off, and then the 1 trail. Right, later in the day, now this was probably around 11, right after 11 o'clock Eastern. Came back into the no trade zone and started coming back out. You see the trade filter didn't agree because obviously we're below the VWAP, USAR, and so forth. All right, until the bars turned blue again, where we had cleared all the VWAP and everything, and your trend light filter agreed. But that was later in the day. But see how that market moved? It was nice and smooth, right? Yeah, it didn't trend the whole day, right? Some days you get a day when the market just picks a direction and it goes in that direction all day. Didn't quite do that, but it was still a nice, easy, trade on Thursday. Now compare that to what we had on Friday. Look at this mess here on Friday. Now the problem you can run into on a day like this is, see, you had a trade fire off in the morning where you had a brief, period here where your traffic light filter was all in agreement here. It didn't last long, and you can see we got outside of the no trade zone and fired some signals to the short side here. The thing that would save you, when we talked about our trend filters last week and we talked about our trendometer, right? During this period, the trendometer was not in agreement. So if you had your trendometer set to the on position here, you would have avoided this kind of messy day where we just we slightly broke down, right? Then we tried to break to the upside and down again, back to the upside. All right, that's where we saw, last week where there was a trade that got a good trade that got filtered out by the trendometer. Well, here's a day that the trendometer kept you safe. All right, but just, you get different market types. Market is constantly changing. So you just have to be aware, and depending on your filters, okay, there's a situation where the trendometer really, gave you a good heads up that this is just a market, there's no momentum here, and things are just going to be trading in this range. We really didn't get, too far out of the no trade zone for the whole day. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit here. What I wanted to do next was just go over, yes, when you download your Algo Futures 7 or 8, you have a pre-built trend breakout, morning breakout template that's already set up for you, whether you're an experienced trader or you're a new trader looking for something that works. You can use that right out of the box. You don't have to mess with the parameters. It's all done for you. All right, and Tom has added trend reversal, and now there's a new scalper template that is in there that you can download that I really like. But we'll get into those on another day. But what I want to do is just kind of look under the hood and show you some things that you can change parameters on and customize, if you will, to your liking. So obviously, let me just turn this off. Here's your Ninja Buddy to the right-hand side, right? Very prominent. And you've got your trade setups, and you can toggle these on and off in real time, right? So if you don't want trades, trade number 1 set up, coming long or short, you can shut that off. 2, you can shut it off, and so on, right? Your automatic trading turn on, fully automated. It's going to take all the trades, manage the trades, and so on. You can obviously turn that off and go semi-automated or manual if you want, and you've got your section, your traffic light filter. You can toggle that on or off if you want to remove that filter. Your trendometer, right? You can toggle that on or off. Your section here, these are
order pending.
Execute trades. Okay, if you want to cancel.
Order canceled.
Cancel them all. You can do
order pending.
Order cancels order breakout, where you've got a buy stop and a sell stop that comes in.
Order canceled.
Right, so there's a lot of functionality here. If you just want to do a straight buy stop or sell stop. And notice that we've got an entry here, right? What if I, instead of manually having to replace my stops and targets, if I just come down to place stops and targets and click
order
that,
pending,
it automatically replaces my stop and target, right? Very, handy to have there. And then you've got your profit target filters if you want to move to your entry +1. If you want to move your stop to your entry +1. I'm sorry, your target to your entry +1. Right? If you want to move it up 50%, if you want to move it up 100%, I'm sorry, down 50%. Oh, my eyes are losing my eyes. If you want to move your stop, to break even, right? If you want to move your stop up 50% or down 50%, right? You have all that functionality, right on the face of things. The bottom here is going to tell you what account you're in, what position, if you have a position, your risk, your reward, your money management goals. So your profit target goals, and this is customizable, your stop loss limit. So if you reach your target of profit of 500 for the day, it's going to shut the system off. Or if you hit your stop loss limit, it's going to shut the system off. Okay, so that's all customizable. We'll take a look at that in just a second. All right, so let me just clear this off here.
Order canceled.
I close all. All right, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm just going to, let's start with, go to our view and go to advanced mode settings. All right, you can do that, or you can just toggle the button here. All right, so the first that comes up is your basic trade entry. So this is going to have your whether you want to take the next trade short, long, if that's going to be on or off, the template that you're using currently. So you can change your templates here, your signal types. You can turn on or off here. Whatever account you're in is going to show up here, and you can change that here by clicking that button to the right there. Your position sizing and your brackets and so forth. All right, so you can change that quickly there under the Trade Filters tab. Let's say you want to change your session time. So right now you've got trading session 2 on, that's from 9:30 to 12:45, and session 3, which is from 13:45 to 15:45 Eastern. Right? Maybe you want to turn session 3 off. Okay, so you can do it very quickly here. It's not too complicated. You can adjust your trendometer here. You can increase your filters from 50% to 100% or whatever you want to adjust it to, and you can play with those. All right, your stop loss, same thing. All right, you have all the basic parameters for your stop, initial stop, your trailing stops. All right, but if we come to advanced, let's say you want to set up a completely different trade management plan. Let's say you just want to trade one lot, and you want a 20 tick, say 24 tick profit and a 24 tick stop loss, and you want to trail a 12 tick trail. All right, so what we can do is go into advanced all here. All right, and we're going to look for our parameter group for our position size. So that's going to be 004, right, which is right here. And you can toggle these. You can close them and open them. Okay, and it says trade bracket quantity, and you see this is already populated with the template that's already set up in here. But if I just want a one lot, well, I'm just going to turn this into 1, and I'm going to set this one to 0 because I only want it to trade one lot. Okay, next we're going to come down to group our parameter group 601, which is the stop loss setup. right? So I'm just going to look for 601, right? So I've already got it open here, stop loss set up. And the stop loss mode is set to 1. Well, if I click on this, it tells me stop at the bottom here, stop loss mode 0 equals ticks. 1 is set to basically a percentage or multiplier. Well, if I just want to set it to a 24 tick stop, then I'm going to set this back to 0 under trade bracket quantity 1. I need to set that to 1, right? Because we're trading one lot. Back here under 601 stop loss mode, I put it to 0 because I want ticks. Okay, and then under 01B, okay, right here, I'm going to set the number of ticks to 24. Okay. All right, next, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. In 602, our stop loss break even setup, I'm going to set the 01A, right? Make sure that is set to 0. Okay, because we want that off. And in group 603, I should have that open here. In 00A, that's our first line here, stop loss 1 trail mode. Okay, I'm going to set that to 1. Oops. All right, so if we look, that's our stop loss trail. Let me pull this up here. All right, so 1 is by price. 0A, we're going to set this to 10 ticks. All right, C is going to be, should be 0. Next, in section 603, all right, I want to set the stop loss 1, the trail mode, to 1, which means last price. All right, there it is. Okay, and you can see 1 equals price at the bottom here. All right, so we set that to 1. 10A, our stop loss 1 trail mode, we're going to set to 10. Right, that is set to 10, which is ticks. And then 10C, which is our stop loss trail trigger, trail trigger mode. We're going to set that to 0 for ticks, right? Because we want ticks. And then 10E, our stop loss trail 1, trail trigger. And that's where we're going to enter our 12 ticks. All right, and that's 10E. All right, 10F, there are stop loss trail offset mode. We're going to set to 0 ticks. Okay, there it's set to 0. And then 10H, finally there, we're going to set to 2 ticks, our offset. And then our parameters group 700, our profit target setup. So we're going to toggle that on, open that up, and we're going to set our 00A target mode 1 to 0 ticks, 04 ticks, and then 01A, the target. Okay, we're going to set this to 24. All right, because we want our target on our one lot. We're going to have a stop of 24 ticks and a target of 24 ticks. And we set the trail for 12. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, now, once you've got it the way you want it, you can open up the settings template. Okay, and under template name, you can here, and then save template as. Right, and then you can name your template how you want to save that. Click OK. Let's click cancel there, and that'll save the template. Anytime you make any changes, also just make sure you click save and OK. Okay, so that you don't lose your work. But the point being, there's a lot of stuff under the hood. You can keep it as simple as you want, or you can really dig in and take a look at the help guides. Those are going to be very useful if you want to come in and change your, any of the parameters, any of the filters, your goals. So if I scroll back up here, remember we can set our goals. So we have our cash goals here under 500. All right, so it's set to true, which means it's on. It's got a cash goal, profit of 500 and a loss of minus 500. So once you hit a target of $500, it's going to shut the system off. Or if you are down $500 at that point, it's going to shut the system off. All right, but you can change these if you wanted to change this to 1,000. On the profit side, leave it at 500 or whatever. And again, just make sure you save everything. All right, well, I hope that's helpful. Again, play around with this. If this can be highly customizable. We'll look at some of the other templates maybe in next week's video. All right, have a great week.